back. And Strange said you better be on this one. So Kenny's here. Strange, he's here. He's here in the flesh.
But hold on,
What's good, man?
uh, nothing much. It's Friday. This I'm about to say December. I don't know why the fuck December's on my mind. But it's Friday, the 7th of February. We get into it. Got some things to discuss and talk about that's going on in the world around us and everything.
Yeah,
But how was your week thus far?
it's been good, man. Put out some new stuff on the gaming channel. Uh, I mean, I guess if you're playing games, if you play video games, you will. I guess right now there's a new season in Black Ops. Of course, there was an update about 3 or 4 weeks ago for Cyberpunk. So
Mhm.
if you haven't been playing Cyberpunk, it's best time to jump into that game. It's so much more to do now. There's been so many updates. The game is in its most perfect state. And I would also say this: if you want the CDPR to continue supporting that game, it seems like they're reacting to the player base because I want to say about a month ago they said they were done with Cyberpunk. Like we're done. We're not going to do anything else with Cyberpunk. But the player count just kept going up and going up and going up. So they decided to continue to support the game and most likely until the next game drops. And it seems like that next game might drop in a year or so.
Okay.
And so they concentrate on that. They just dropped. Oh, I don't know if anybody played some Bioware games, but Veilguard dropped. It's okay. It's fun enough to play. But I have a video I'm gonna do about that. There's a lot of complaints about gaming right now. People are complaining that gaming sucks. Gaming is too capitalized,
It is.
capitalism. And I'm
It
like,
is.
well, yeah, that's the reality of the world. If you don't want your games to look the way they are, you know, media and the way we engage with it mirrors society. If society is in a shitty state, gaming is going to be in a shitty state. They mirror each other. If in society everybody is just grifting each other and robbing each other and mistreating one another, what do you think your games are going to look like, right? Two, if you want good games, you want to support the regular person. You want them to be able to make a living. You want them to be able to do the things necessary to survive. If you don't give them those opportunities, if you don't give, if the McDonald's worker can't survive, what do you think the game employees are living off of, right? If the average person can't survive and it's getting lower and lower and lower, then the average game designer has no opportunity. And with these corporations trying to pull, and at this point, they're trying to pull nickels out of pennies. So they're
Yeah.
just going to do whatever makes money. And so our society is just, capitalism is a terrible thing. I keep telling people that capitalism, if you are complaining and you're tired and you're exhausted, it's because of capitalism. Capitalism is your enemy. And you can look at you can call out white people for voting for Trump, or you can call out certain subgroups of people for doing certain things. At the end of the day, capitalism is what fucks you over. It's been doing it for years. A lot of people are nostalgic about the 80s. I see all these videos like what it cost to get something in the 80s, what it cost to do something in the 90s. That might have been the best time for capitalism. CEOs weren't billionaires. They were like quasi-millionaires. If we'd have stopped the greed right at that moment, the American people would have been better. But Reagan sold out middle class for billionaires. And by doing that, it ruined everything. Your music. The music ain't the same. The clubs ain't the same. The social spaces aren't the same. And it's all connected. It really is. And you know what? This whole show is going to talk about those things because they're all connected, unfortunately. And when money can't keep you alive and protect you, that's where we're at right now. You know, in my last gaming video I dropped, I said some people are so lonely, all they have is their money. And that's what it is today. People are just in a room full of money, and that ain't never gonna make you happy. But you gotta burn the whole world to get enough trinkets and diamonds and rubies, how many do you need? Like let's say Tupac said. He said, just think about it. You have $30 million. What are you gonna do with $30 million? That's crazy talk. Now you got
Anything you want.
$1 billion. What are you gonna do with $1 billion? That's crazy
Anything
talk. You
you want.
can't be happy. This is Elon Musk is a perfect example. That man ain't happy. He is not a happy man. I've never seen someone so miserable, lonely, and trash in my life. You know. So jumping right into it, unless you want to speak on this before I jump to the next thing.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I look. Unfortunately, there's groups of other people that won't let you have something unless you got something to give. And unfortunately, the thing that most humans agreed on was money. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, when people, I don't know if people agreed on it. Bartering has been a part of the American experience. If I have grain, you need grain. I don't want you to give me grain. Give me turkey. I'll give you my grain. You know, bartering and buying and selling things are completely normal. But the capitalism that we have is greed. There's no reason for there to only, if you live in a community, for there to only be one internet company. That's greed. That's not competition. And that's literally how our community, like corporate leaders in government, have sold out communities to make more money. If I am elected and the only thing I'm trying to do is get a job at, you know, GE or Boeing, I ain't really trying to do things for the people. I'm just trying to get a $400 million paycheck. I mean, there were presidents who left, worked for companies that have no chemical companies. They ain't a chemist. They went to school for political science, maybe, and they got a job at a chemical company. It ain't because they know about chemicals. It's because they have access to other politicians so they can use that to leverage it to fuck the American people over. You know?
Yeah.
So the reason I bring this up is because Irv Gotti passed away at 54. This man was my 2000s. Like 2000, 2004, 2005, all my 2000s, Irv Gotti was it. Ja Rule, Ashanti, DMX, like everybody he touched and worked with literally infiltrated every part of my sonic experience as a young man. Definitely a young man going into the military, right? He's passed away at 54 from complications of diabetes. Here's what
And
I'm
he
saying.
previously
He's
he had also
not.
had a couple of strokes also too. So
Well,
he
yeah, I
had.
mean that's complications of diabetes. The strokes were complications of diabetes that wasn't controlled and wasn't taken care of. I remember watching him. I want to say about 2 months ago, and I was like, he looked good. He looked good. You know, he looked fine. But you never know what somebody's going through. You never know, and it's unfortunate. But what I'm saying about capitalism is that capitalism. We're in a state where billionaires and millionaires are not protected from the ramifications of the of how we eat, how we drink, how we take care of ourselves, poor health care, poor economic outcomes. The fact that he's not the first, we lost DMX. I mean, it's crazy that these men are dying in their 50s, bro. In their 50s. What's your thoughts on this situation, Kenny?
No, I mean, yeah, it's sad that Irv Gotti's gone and everything. He was relatively young. I mean, basically, he's only what 9 years older than me. But it goes to show that even if you are well established and well off, unless you take care of yourself, stay healthy, then anything can happen. When you start having strokes and things of that nature, then you got the complications of diabetes and all that stuff. You should pay way more attention to your health. One of the big things is that yeah, he was a big part of the 2000s. Brought in, like you said, DMX, uh, Ja Rule, Ashanti. Very good on production. Had the whole Murder Inc. thing. The only bad thing, or it's sadly funny. So 50 Cent, he did make a tweet about it. He said we smoking on that Gotti pack because 50 Cent never liked Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, and all that. But then he
Mm-hmm.
ended with LOL, but he didn't say rest in peace. But that was it. But 50 Cent is being 50 Cent. So, and it's very funny too, because just recently, a Irv Gotti clip started circulating recently. And it was basically Irv Gotti saying that most people think that 50 Cent got shot 9 times and survived, that God saved him. Irv Gotti said, "Nah, I think the devil saved him." He said, "I think that's why 50 Cent is the way he is and everything." So that was one of the bigger things, that clip had just started passing around. Then Irv Gotti passes away. Then 50 Cent makes the comment, "We smoking on that Gotti pack." Then he says, "LOL." Then rest in peace. But that was it. So that was
Yeah,
the
I mean,
most
you know,
interesting
the
thing.
problem with 50, I mean, 50 needed. I mean, when someone passes away, man, come on, we know jokes, we know funny, we know the jabs at one another, but when someone who doesn't have, who's not your enemy, like the mentality that 50 Cent has that somehow Irv Gotti is his enemy, that's crazy.
Well,
50,
Irv,
you
Irv
too
Gotti's with Ja
rich
Rule. 50
and you
Cent is
too
one of the
well
people
off
that
to
everybody on
still
the
be
other
on
side
the
is on the
same
other
stuff.
side.
What'd you say?
I say no. 50 Cent is of that mindset that if you're on that side, you're on that side. So
Yeah,
it's just
but you
crazy.
know, karma is a thing, right? Karma is real, and 50
We'll
been
see.
playing with karma his whole life.
Yeah, but that was
So
funny that
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna put it up to you. 50, use some fucking common sense, bro. Like you heard he had a stroke. There was no reason to even to say anything, to make jokes about it and shit like that. 50, because when that shit come back to you, ain't nobody gonna show you like any remorse or any like sense of equitable humanity.
and he may not desire that
Oh,
too.
he'll
So
want it. Oh, when you're
that's
sick and
always
you're
an assumption
broken,
that some people have.
I only know one man who was on death's door that was still real about his mentality. That was Tupac. Everyone else is crying for God. Oh, help me, God. Come get me, God.
But I don't know. I just
Tupac said, fuck you, and was done. Like, not begging nobody to come help him. He was just like, when the cops came, asked me, he said, fuck you. When the firefighters came, he said, fuck all y'all, man. Fuck this world. So he was true to the end. I hope 50 keeps that energy. Cause I don't know, man.
but it was just the timing of all this was kind of interesting to me. But yeah, so but yeah, RP, rest in peace to Irv Gotti. Hopefully condolences to his family and his loved ones and his children and everything. Um, so hip hop is becoming a very different landscape for me, in my opinion, because a lot of the people I grew up listening to, learning about, reciting lyrics for, they are becoming deceased, unfortunately. So
Yeah, I
it just
mean,
gives
it's
me,
crazy.
it puts me in perspective of my mortality and everything. So especially because it's something that I love so much.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. With that, we're gonna go to your homie.
Not my homie.
Yay.
Not my homie.
This is your boy.
So
What's your boy doing, man? I mean, this is looking a lot like abuse to me, man.
So this story came across because I seen the clip from the Grammys and everything, and in my mind, I'm always like, is she doing this because she wants to, or as is being said in some of the articles that he just released, basically because he just had a crazy rant on Twitter/X. Is he really just controlling this woman? And then how did she even get in his vicinity to even become the person of his wife? Like, did she actually go out of her way to find him, or did he go out of his way to find her, or was it
I
just a
mean,
mutual
you know,
thing?
he probably was creeping in. He'd be on Instagram. He creeped into her DMs. I mean, I assume because I don't know of her having any crossover with the hip hop world. Maybe with fashion. I mean, I looked her
I
up and
mean,
I could only find like just these little nibbles of her presence on the internet prior to Kanye West, right?
so
And
yeah,
then post Kanye West, I mean, I wouldn't say her presence has grown that large, but the controversy around her seems to be huge. I mean, this is not the first person to come to the Grammys or an award show and be nearly naked. Like, honestly, I mean, we need to get past this puritanical state where, like, a woman's naked body is somehow, sexualized. We need to get past that. Because you could be a
I don't
dude
know.
and walk around with your shirt off, and no one's sexualizing you. But if you're a woman, it's only sexualization. So we got to get to the point where in our society we don't do that.
No, I don't think that's
Femininity
gonna happen.
is not what shocked me. It's a thing that Kanye West said. Kanye West said, "I have dominion over her body."
Yeah,
Now
but
that's
that's the
fucking
part that I'm trying to
crazy.
bring up. It's like because even if you see them together, she's just kind of an accessory to him. And I wonder, and this is my real thoughts. Within the confines of their home, away from everybody else, does she actually talk? Does she actually can express, like, is it him saying, "Hey, I got this idea. I want you to wear this new bodysuit, and I'm gonna wear all black and glasses, but then you're gonna have a fur coat on, and we go walk on the red carpet, and then I want you to take it off. But don't say anything. Just keep a stone solid face and stand there." Like, is that the conversation that they have? And then she like, "Yeah, I think that's a great idea," or she's like, "Yes, whatever you say." And it just trips me out.
I
And
really hope it's the other one. I hope that they have the conversation at home, and they're laughing, and they have a good, healthy relationship, and they're having a fun time. And they're like, "Well, we're gonna shock the world. Like me and you gonna shock this world. Like I'm tired of the bullshit. We are bigger than this. We're gonna go and we're gonna do this together. And I want you to go up there, and I just want you to perform this performance." I hope it's the other end of it. I hope they actually have a healthy relationship at home. Now
I
he
don't know.
does, but he's always done this. Kanye West has always treated post, well, let's just say, since he was with Kim Kardashian, he always treated her as an accessory. I never saw him treat Kim Kardashian as a person. Not on the TV show, not in real life. She was always a accessory to him. She was
See, I
to
see it differently.
wear
I've seen
and
that she was
dress the
equal
way
to
he
him.
wanted her to dress. That was that was factual. You could see the way her style changed and her access to the fashion world blew up because of Kanye West. And I think Kanye West and that relationship might have been quid pro quo. But I
Yeah,
think he's taking that experience and projecting it onto this Bianca chick. And she doesn't have her own stuff. She's not creating her own clothing companies, her own perfume, her own marketing stuff. She's just a person in his orbit. And I think when he's tired of her, she'll just float off into space.
well, he's married to her, so we'll see how that happens. But also, the other part is the fact that she has a very similar look to Kim Kardashian. And it's like, if your kids are around, like, why is this? What did you say earlier before we even started?
I'd be like,
Mom,
"Daddy, why does your new girlfriend look like my mom?
yeah,
What is that
that's
about?"
crazy though. That's crazy. That is crazy. Hey, but wait, that was a good comment. He said, "The world lives in the flesh, sex sells." That is the truth. That would keep things going. That's why we
Well,
have
that's
stats.
capitalism. See,
But
all that's just
it's also
capitalism.
hold on before you get to the capitalism. It's also very primal. You
No,
see
it's not.
something that
No,
catches
it's
your
not.
eye,
No, it's
you are
not. You
going
know
to
how I
look.
know it's not? I've been
Yeah.
to Africa. I've been
Hmm.
to Africa. I've seen women just walking around. You know, no, that's capitalism.
I
Capitalism is
would
about
emphasize it, but
making
I
something
disagree that it's solely that.
sensational and then making money from it. Because prior to that, you see a woman's breast, no one was going, "Oh my God, I need to jerk off to this or something, or I need to
Look, you will
take
be
this and put it into
surprised. You will
film
be
and
surprised.
monetize it."
You know why I'm disagreeing with that, because going to New Orleans, when we were down there for Mardi Gras, there were dudes that no matter what, I mean, to me, once you see one set of breasts, you pretty much seen like all breasts. They're really not that different, but there are dudes that no matter what, as soon as the breasts are exposed, they're gonna stop, stand, and stare.
Yeah, but that's because our society created that.
Well, yeah, with the
If I
religion and the
if I
Puritan
see a
practice, yeah. No, and I agree with you on that, but
capitalism,
this is also a part of how it works, though. There's a reason, like, he could have had her come out dressed in a hijab. It still would have been talked about,
yeah, he could have.
but he went completely the different way. He had her come out in a nude cat suit. I mean, but it just triggered it. Sex sells, flesh sells. I mean, Strange has a
But
little bit of
that
a
is
point
what
there.
capitalism is. First things first. You know what the devil is? I love to use the word. This is the devil, homeboy. You know the
Mhm.
greatest the trick that capitalism ever played
But make you
is
think
that
you
there
do
is a
this.
devil. And so anything bad you can see, if I can get you to blame that on some outside party and you don't look at what capitalism is, I have bamboozled you. If you can go, white people are racist, and that's why society is the way it is, while ignoring that capitalism is racism, then you don't look at capitalism. You blame a group of people who are just acting and are acting and performing capitalism. Capitalism is literally is based on greed to disenfranchise a person from their humanity. That's what capitalism is. To capitalize off the disenfranchisement of someone's humanity. To force them into conditions where you can capitalize upon. So if you're lonely, I create an app that I can capitalize off of and make money from that. I'm gonna read. Strange Trade just dropped something.
Are you reading it? Or you
Yeah,
want me to read it?
it's a way to think. I've seen this before. It's no longer like that. But to get the word to understand is too late. There's more minds on the way.
This is getting in it. But the world to
Oh, the
understand is
world, the world.
to understand is too late. There's more
The
minds.
world to understand is too late. Okay, absolutely. The word is not word, it's the world.
All right.
Absolutely. Agree. But it's not too late because we're having a conversation now. But honestly, it's the reality of the world. Like capitalism is about creating conflict and uncomfort to distract you, to make you weak, and then to capitalize off the behavior that comes with that. Because when people are when they're conflicted by capitalism, they engage with destructive behaviors, right? So maybe it's a certain type of food. You know, you shouldn't eat it, but you eat it because everything else in your world is so complicated, right? You don't. Everybody has trauma, but you don't have any time to really engage with your trauma because capitalism keeps you so busy and so distracted that you never have an opportunity to engage with your trauma. What you need in reality is that people are too busy. They are too disconnected from their humanity. I always go back to, I remember when I was in business school, I said something to my professor, like, you know, we created conditions that are in conflict and economic policies that are in conflict with humanity. Here's a perfect example. You've seen lions, right?
Yeah.
I was in Kenya. I've seen lions in the wild. What do you think they do most of the time?
Lions in the wild, they pretty much chill.
Fucking exactly. Humans are no different. If you went back to when we were nomads, we spent a few hours gathering food, and then the rest of the time, they were chilling. But we created capitalism, and then we created this concept of capitalism where it was based on growth and your productivity. And the more I can own your best hours of your day, the best minutes, the best seconds,
Mm-hmm.
the best reflection, the best times of the year, I can own it. I can profit from that. But you do not actually get to live your life. Most people don't get to actually experience their lives.
That's true.
Most people live and die never experiencing the best hours of their day.
That's true.
And then
I,
you
I, I
have
don't disagree with that. I fully
politicians
agree with that.
saying that people should be working into their 70s. Do you know how fucking crazy that is? That's capitalism. But if I can get you to blame it,
that people bought into.
I can get you to embrace a capitalistic concept, which is religion. Religion is nothing but a capitalistic concept. It is based on money and economics and profit centers. but also a distraction. Because if I can get you to believe in a world after this, then you will gladly sacrifice the life you have today for the imagined one you'll get in death. I can completely structure your entire life around that. Nothing is better for capitalism than religion or cults or any kind of group you can become a part of that tells you that this life doesn't matter so much, your next life matters. And so that I can say, you know what, sacrifice this life now, you'll have a better one in the future. Knowing damn well that's nonsense. Because you know what rich people do? They're really good at free time. To them, business is a dinner. You're saying, oh, I had a business meeting. They had an expensive dinner with people that they kind of like, and they may have talked about business. But for the most part, they spend their lives trying to find new ways to engage with their money through leisure. And most
Yeah.
people have no leisure to engage with their trauma at all.
All right, so let's move on because we're getting off the track of
Well, now this
everything.
is all it's all related. It's reality. All of this is related to each other. Perfect example. Some people are so thoroughly informed by racism that they will gladly repeat the narratives of racism. It's funny. Beyonce had the Michael Jackson Thriller version of a country album. And yet, we aren't talking about that. Literally, Beyonce's country album was the Thriller version of the pop album from Michael Jackson. There were pop albums before Michael Jackson. There were. But there have never been as big as a pop album as Thriller, ever. Now, we lived in a time where people weren't attacking you for your blackness. And today, all the conversation around black people is attacking them. DEI, equality, civil rights. They're all slurs for racism. Straight up, they should be saying the N-word. To say the N-word every time they go up on the stage. It's just a place, they're taking another word and putting it in its place.
Yeah.
DEI is just another slur word for anti-blackness, right? So why I say this is because people who claim they're not racist are repeating the narratives of white supremacy when they say that their line is always, there was probably a better country album than Beyonce's. There never was. Beyonce's country album was the biggest country album ever. That's why it's so important. There had never been a country album like Beyonce's that actually paid homage to true country music. Think about it. And then the fact that there's never been a black woman to win Best Country Album. Black people created country. Every genre in the United States was created by black voices. Folk music, country music, pop music, rock music, jazz, all that, rap music. There isn't, name one genre of music popular in the United States that was not created by black voices.
Oh, just to kind of give a correction, the Pointer Sisters they did win a Grammy for a country album.
No, black best country album, not an album, not an award, best country album. That has never been run by a black woman.
I would say this, and this is me looking at it from a person that listens to music, and we did cover this album. Is I don't know if there was or wasn't because I don't listen to country. So I mean, I get what you're saying. I can understand what you're saying. However, I'm not done with my statement. But my whole thing is that unless there's somebody that can say I review country music, country albums, and they come out and say yes, this was the best album, I can understand the value. I can understand the sentiment, but I don't know. I can take what you say as face value and understand, like, yes, it was a good album. And for me not to like country and me not to be the biggest Beyonce fan, I can understand and say, yeah, it was a good album. I had some songs on there that I liked, but I don't know if it was the best country album. We can say based on winning award, the Grammy, then yeah, but I don't know. No. So
you do know.
I can understand when somebody else has a different
This is how you know. All right. Remember when Garth Brooks dropped his first album?
No.
All right. Do you remember Miley Cyrus's father, Billy Ray Cyrus's song, My Achy Breaky Heart?
Yes, I know that song.
All right. Do you know why you know that?
I don't know why I know it. I know
I'll
because it
tell
was
you
a
why you know
popular
that.
song.
Because that album was the biggest album of its time. When an album like that comes out, it transcends the music that it's a part of.
But even with this, I can say we reviewed this, we listened to it. There's no song that I know that came from this album that I would say was like Billy Ray Cyrus's "Achy Breaky Heart."
No, I'm not. No. There was though. There absolutely was. Your neighbors were listening to it. Your neighbors were playing it in their backyard. You could walk outside in Georgia and hear people play. Every song you heard on the radio was that song. It might not have been for you.
I don't even know the song. That's what I'm
music.
saying. I remember I liked it, the one song about it was something like fuck. I can't even remember the name of the song, but I know that was the one I like, and then it was the one with like Post Malone. I think those are the two I remember off the album, but I cannot say that I honestly remember anything else.
You may not remember,
breakdown we did a
but
review of.
people do remember because they were playing it in their backyards. Now here's the reality of the situation, right? That's the type of album Beyonce dropped. We live in a state of complete and utter ignorance today, where anything black people do has to be quantified or undermined by capitalism, because we're in the end stages of capitalism. We're in the end stage of two things. The United States is in the end stage of what it is. Black people try to say this country is unsavable. That's just the truth of it. The people who kept their fingers in the dike hole for all these years were black bodies. They tried to tell people this country is going to fall apart if you don't listen. If you don't follow us, it's going to blow up. They didn't listen, and now all of a sudden, shit blowing up. You know why? Soft head, dumbass. That's why I'm laughing, because this is the reality. People are so thoroughly informed daily by white supremacy that they'll hear things and just repeat it so comfortably. So comfortably. Because even you just said, well, maybe there was. There wasn't. You know why there wasn't? Because you would have heard about it. Because when an album is that big, listen, Kenny, yes, you would.
You, I wouldn't have heard about it. I don't listen to country like that.
Kenny, that's false. There are people who don't listen to rap music. They know GNX.
Yeah, because this coming off the back of a big beat in hip hop. That's why.
No. Listen. So see, you just compromised what you said. You just conflicted your last statements. You know why they know that? Because GNX was bigger than rap music. Beyonce's album was bigger than country music. It was.
I'll let you have this.
GNX was
like,
bigger than rap music. GNX was bigger than rap music. That's a fact.
Why though? You're not answering why. Because it was one of the biggest rap beefs with one of the biggest artists that have been ruling hip hop for the longest. That is why. Most people, until all the beefs start popping up, most people barely. If you
Kenny,
knew who Kendrick Lamar was, that probably
matter
started about hip hop. That's exactly what happened.
No, Kenny, it doesn't matter why they know about it.
It does matter
about it because
I don't know about something because I don't listen to it. I don't pay attention to that. That's not part. It's not in my area. So that's why. So you need to understand that some people do the same thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Kenny, I wish sometimes you would try to go out of your world. Stop thinking like Kenny thinks.
The part is, I don't have to. There's no overall desire for me to interject myself.
Then you lack one of the most important.
The way that you do have it for yourself. That's what I'm trying to say.
Have a channel like this if you can't see things from someone else's perspective.
I do see things from other people's perspective. You don't see things from other people's perspective.
You don't have to.
You see them from yours, and you think everybody has to have
this. I don't see them from mine. Kenny,
there's other people that don't care half that time about that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Let me step you real quick. You think this is my perspective? I'm looking at it from why is something so big and why it's so important? You first have to go, what does it mean?
If you said GNX, I told you why it was big and why it was so important. Because it was off the back of something that just occurred that drew everybody's attention. That's the difference.
No, the beat didn't draw people's attention. Most people didn't even pay attention to the beat.
What is it?
No,
tell me what did if the beat
our little circle, Kenny, me and you, in our little circle, you really think our circle is bigger than it really is? Our little circle is very small. People who listen and pay attention to beat stop are a minority of the group.
Hold on, continue.
The reason his album blew up It's because he put the artistry on a level 10. What he
Kendrick
did through the
Lamar already had
music.
artistry on level 10.
Which
Most
is,
people,
for
unless
example,
you are a
Kenny,
Kendrick Lamar, I remember you saying you didn't like Kendrick Lamar. I do remember that. I haven't forgot that because all of a sudden, he's like so cool now. But
I didn't
until
say
the
I didn't
beef
like Kendrick
occurred and it
Lamar.
was against
I say
Drake,
I
that
don't
is what
listen to
made this
Kendrick
album
Lamar
listen.
like that. I said what I said to you, Kenny, is I don't listen to Kendrick Lamar, but I also told you I don't really listen to rap anymore.
Yes,
Exactly what I
that's
said.
what I'm saying.
So that's
But
why I
all of
wasn't
a
paying
sudden,
attention to
when
it.
the beef occurred and it started getting a lot of traction and it started drawing eyes to it, and it was like the biggest thing, and then all this other stuff with capitalism too spiraled all around it, then you paid attention to it. Then it also leads to the fact that GNX got released on the
I
back
paid
of
attention
all
to
this stuff.
no,
And
Kenny.
it
I
made
think you
sense
got
to
it wrong. The reason I pay attention to your boy's album is because I don't like Drake. Drake, I've always been an op for Drake. I always said Drake was trash. I always said that it was fake. I always called out, I said he's not a good rapper, and I stand by that. And it's shown to be true. I have been found true. See, me and Kendrick share a problem. Drake is a implant. He is a plant. He's an industry plant. I said it from day one. I said this dude is garbage. Why y'all listening to this bullshit? He's fake. He don't write his raps. None of this is real. This dude does not talk. He's not black. He doesn't talk about black problems. He's silent on black people. Black people would get killed in the street, and my man would be like, drop a nice, he'll drop a love album. He'll
No,
touch my hand.
I just see the comment.
Touch my hand. When George Floyd died, this dude dropped a TR and 808 album that did not once bring up the experiences of black bodies, right? So I called that out. So then when Kendrick when someone who was able to be listened to, like Kendrick said, hey, this dude is garbage, I've been saying that for years. People have been calling me a hater. They're like, you a hater, dude. You a hater. You're a hater. No, he garbage. And it was true. Now, this is the thing around this individual. He has a Pulitzer Prize. He is a profound writer. He is. I never said he wasn't. I just don't listen to rap that much. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. And I have my favorite artists that I'll check up on, like Nas and Royce the 5'9", and that's about it. And it's not because there aren't other good rappers out there. It's because their music, what they were saying, did not engage with me. Yet this album, if you ask me, it's one of the best rap albums ever. I'll be honest and tell you that. That's not a joke. But you know why it is?
Why?
Because of the art. Perfect example. Beautiful Dark Fantasy. One of the best albums ever. There were people who did not listen to rap music that bought that album. Why? Because it was bigger than rap music. It was bigger than music. It was a moment in history. It was so profoundly well done that people are like, damn, this represents a change in the narrative, and it did. Rap music completely changed because of that album, right? Perfect example. Why is Beyonce's album so important? Because Beyonce's album changed country music. Now, you got Boozy, and you got all these black artists who are getting the shine because of Beyonce. They've been there doing their work, dropping music, no one showing no love to black artists in country music. Now, they winning awards at the Country Music Awards. Why? Because of Beyonce. The perfect example. They didn't play black music on MTV, but then Michael Jackson dropped Thriller. Suddenly, Prince and Rick James and all these black artists are on MTV because it was bigger than music. It forced a moment of change. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like Beyonce's album was the Thriller of country music. It changed country music. You know why white people are mad? Because they stole country music from black people and black people took it back. That's what happens. And when black people take something back, they change it to what it should be. They elevate it. Kendrick Lamar's album, you know what it did? it took rap music back from white people. It said, no, this is our music. If you don't respect the culture, get the hell out. Post Malone will drop 1 or 2 more albums, and he will be solidified to nothingness. And only artists that will get love are the ones who show respect. Kendrick Lamar recently had an interview, and what he said in his interview was this. He said, if you respect the art, the music will come to you. See? And that's why Beyonce's album is so important. That's why I'm like, when people go, there was probably a better country album, I go, name one. You can't. Because there wasn't. There wasn't. No, because Kenny, it could have been a white artist that dropped that. You just said you knew of Billy Ray Cyrus's song. You don't listen to country music, but you knew of My Achy Breaky Heart. Why? Because that song was bigger than country music.
And this is what I'm saying.
It forced itself. It insisted on itself, and you had to engage with it.
Listen to what I'm saying. That is one song that I do remember and recall. But what I'm saying is, even with this Beyonce album, this Cowboy Carter, there's no song on there that I can recall. I know Beyonce made a country album. I know it's called Cowboy Carter, and I know it won a Grammy. That's what I know. But I'm being honest when I say there's not one song I'm like, oh yeah, that's right off of Cowboy Carter by Beyonce. I can say, yeah, I know.
There are people that can, and that's the whole point.
And then that's also what you said. There are people that can. That's the point. My other point with that is I don't listen to country enough to know if somebody else that is a fully indoctrinated country music listener can say, well, and then they point out another album that you can say either was better or as equal or just second place. That's what I don't know. That's why I'm like, yeah, right now in this moment in time,
that's the whole point.
Best country album. I can respect that.
Was
but
there
I'm
a
also
better
going to
album
say
to drop
I
in
can't say
GNX
I know it's the best overall because I haven't heard all of it.
I ask you this, Kenny.
And I know that.
Was there a better album that dropped in GNX in the rap music area?
Was there a better album that dropped than GNX in the rap music era? Then it'll become to opinion.
No, I mean, literally, when we talk about best, we're talking about influence. We're talking about changing the conversation. We're talking about what when change happens, Kenny, it's almost always controversial. When Michael Jackson dropped Thriller, there were white people going, this ain't pop music. He ain't a pop god. He ain't a rock god. Blah, 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 blah. That's what happened when Michael Jackson dropped Thriller.
All right, so to me, GNX did not change anything. All GNX really did, in my opinion, was make the music, the sound more West Coast now. The West Coast has something to celebrate. It got taken back from down south. It got taken back from the East Coast. Kendrick blew up. He's from the West Coast, and he did the right thing by his album as in putting little known West Coast acts on it. So all that really did to me is like, boom, he dropped an album. It had a real authentic West Coast sound. It wasn't like the music now where everybody's kind of mixed together, mashed up. You got to really listen to see, oh, I know this person from the West. I know this person from Midwest. I know this person from down South. No, this album sounds like a West Coast album. That's the thing it did, in my opinion. But did it change anything? No. It just took it back home, basically.
What award? Do you know the award one of the awards he got for this album? One of the most important awards he received for this album. So I'm going to prove you wrong right here.
What's up?
What award did he get?
I just know he got 5 Grammys. I don't know.
Okay. One of the awards he got was Best Songwriter. How many rap albums have ever gotten Best Songwriter?
None, in my opinion. I'm not.
Exactly. So to make the statement that it didn't change something, it absolutely did.
Then you know what it changed.
Listen
to what I'm about to say. What it would have changed then, all of a sudden it drew the attention of people that are on the board to pick Grammys and consider a rap album. That's what it changed.
That's not what happened. What happened. What it said. So if you're a new young artist, right? You're coming up. To say that you are the best in rap music, to say you're the best, you have to have an award for best songwriter. Because what's rap? Rap says I'm the GOAT. I'm the best songwriter out there. No one can write better than I do.
And then this
That's
is
what
the
the biggest
problem. No, hold
argument in
on.
rap
'Cause then
is.
this is
I'm
the
saying
problem.
I'm the GOAT.
This
No
is the
one can do
problem.
it better
This is
than
the
me.
problem that this has created then, because we can go back and look at the other albums that have Jay-Z should have been won this award. Then, if that's the case,
Should he?
Nas should
Because
have
if
been
you
won
look
this
at his
award. If that's the
albums,
case.
if you look at Jay-Z's albums, a lot of them have multiple songwriters on them.
No, Jay-Z writes his own.
No, it
Nas
does.
writes his own. But that's
I'll
what I'm
Google it
saying.
right now.
If you're
Pick a song.
basing,
Pick a
listen,
song.
hold on. Let me say this. If you're basing on the fact that he won for best songwriter, then my thing is we should be able to go back and every year there should be a best songwriter for a hip hop album. Then that's how I would look at it. Because yes,
Kenny,
Kendrick Lamar right.
for
I agree.
your album,
But
listen.
the problem
listen,
is that how come Nas got overlooked? How come Jay-Z got overlooked?
Listen.
What?
Kenny, to get best songwriter, every song on that album has to be written by you.
I'm gonna look that up. I don't want to argue the
See
point.
what I'm saying?
I'm gonna look.
That's
I'm
why
going
it's
to
so
look it up.
big.
I'm gonna look it up, and then
Yeah,
on the next
that's
show
why it's
we'll
so-
discuss it.
I'll do it for you right here. He got best songwriter.
No, I'm saying what you're saying is the criteria for getting that award. I don't think that is true because generally with any album, you are not always the single performer of the writing of a song. So that would be my question: is the Grammy criteria for best songwriter you writing every single song solely by yourself, which that typically does not even happen?
I'm gonna put it right here. Best Songwriter Award rules.
For the Grammys, that's what you're looking at?
Yeah. It is right here. Songwriters must have written a minimum of 5 songs credited solely as the songwriter or co-writer. Songwriters must supplement their core 5-song submission with up to 4 for language clarity. Non-performing, non-producing songwriters were removed from the current language.
So right there,
for
it
instance,
says,
like the
it
producers,
says perform and or co. That's almost every damn song that you ever heard is written by more than one person.
my point here is this. He got Best Songwriter Award.
Okay.
An award that I don't know has ever even been given to a rap artist.
Let me see. I'm just look that up right quick because I don't think so either. But then my own argument is the fact that you would have to go back. Wait, hold on. What is this? No, that's just the best rap song. That's weird. No.
All right, I got it. I got it right here. Jay-Z, Pharrell Williams, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar are the only songwriters who have won the category more than once. The fact that motherfucking Drake got a songwriting award. You say this motherfucker is not
hold
real.
hold on. This is what I'm saying though. Remember what I said. No song you hear is written solely by one person. That's the whole thing. Drake has writing camps. That is true. But
Oh no, I'm sorry. Hold up. No, I'm wrong. Sorry. That was an award for best rap song.
Yeah,
the
and that's
only
I'm
person
trying
that to get a songwriting award has been Kendrick Lamar.
And that's what I would assume on the hip hop side of it. I think, yes, he's the first to do it. My only statement that I'm trying to make is if that is the case and that's the bar you're setting, then all the other artists before him that are hip hop / rap artists should get reviewed because some of them are great
They're not gonna
songwriters.
get reviewed.
Nas is a great songwriter.
What happens now is if you want that throne, you're going to have to drop an album. If Nas wants that, let's say I'm the GOAT, he's going to have to go and become the GOAT. If Jay-Z says he's the GOAT, right now, without any argument, Kendrick Lamar is the GOAT. He
So,
gets
all right.
it. You can
All
say
right.
you have the song. Look, the problem is, what did he say? He said, you can say I have the sales. We know, we'll argue that doesn't mean anything. You'll go, well, I have more number ones. We'll go, yeah, but that don't really mean anything. You got more number ones than Tupac, and a lot of people still put Tupac over you. So sorry, but what they will say is, oh, best songwriter. Yeah, you would have to be that because what do we say about rappers? For you to be the greatest, you gotta write your rhymes.
Yeah.
And to get an award and a Pulitzer Prize for writing your rhymes. Sorry, bro. There's only a handful of people who got Pulitzer Awards for writing. I think Nas is one of them. Kendrick Lamar is another one. They got Pulitzer Awards for their writing. I don't think Jay-Z has a Pulitzer Award for writing because Jay-Z's great, but Jay-Z don't write. He don't write his rhymes. He's just a great rapper. He just says words. But for writers, it's been Kendrick Lamar and Nas. And Nas can still say, I'm a GOAT. I may not have that award, but I have the writing award that says it first. So I'm in that area, but that's my whole point. When I say GNX is that big of an album, it not just changed, it reinforced a colloquial set of standards that was not really agreed upon, saying you have to write your rhymes. Now, it has been awarded an award saying, no, you probably should have to write your rhymes to say you're the best. That's just that right there.
See, because I'm one thing I just know he won 5 Grammys, but I don't know exactly what he won his 5 for.
What's that?
I was trying to see exactly what he won his 5 for, but I know we're getting close on time and we get to do the last cleanup with the last little thing, so we can move on.
All right, it flows right into the Super Bowl. Everybody's excited for the Super Bowl. It's about to go down. Are you excited? It's this weekend.
No, this is not the Super Bowl. This is the Kendrick Lamar concert, guest starring the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. But no, I'm not really big on the game and everything. I do want to see the halftime show performance to see exactly how he's going to pull this off, to see if he's going to stay being the extra and go hard at it, or if he is going to actually kind of skim across the top with Not Like Us, or how he's going to pull it off. SZA's going to be there, so that's going to be dope. I want to see how they're going to flip that. I'm assuming they're going to perform some part of Luther. That's what I would think. But no, I'm not overly excited about the game. I kind of think, especially because I was going back and looking at some stuff, and a lot of people are already having controversies with the whole Kansas City Chiefs things. They think it's a plot to get them to win again because they're trying to make them the new kind of like New England Patriots. And then there's even the whole stuff I don't want to go into, but the political side that's kind of involved with Mahomes, his wife, the president, and all that stuff too. So I'm not overly excited. I just want to see
what's going on with the president.
I said I didn't really get into it, but apparently Donald Trump is claiming that he's going to go to the Super Bowl, and basically Pat Mahomes
booed the shit out of him.
And Pat Mahomes' wife, she's actually a big Trump supporter. So
yes, he dumbass.
And Kelsey is too. So it's kind of interesting. So that's the politics side of it that I'm so uninterested in. But overall, it's a game. The Eagles, the Chiefs. I want to see the commercials. I want to see the halftime show. That's pretty much it for me. Commercials and halftime show.
Agreed.
What about you?
I'm just here to see Kendrick Lamar perform. I think that Kansas City's probably going to win again because the refs be cheating for them.
That's what I've heard.
And so with that said, I just don't think, I would love to see Philly win. I'd love to see a new champion crowned, but I just don't believe that the refs are going to allow that to happen. And whenever they can make a choice or a decision that will will only help them, they will make that decision. I believe that solely. I'm up to being being wrong. Oh, I'm not putting a bet on anything. I don't care for either of these teams. I am a Buckeye through and through. My boys won a championship, and that's all I care about. NFL, I'm from Ohio, and I don't even follow the Browns or the Bengals. I am a Buckeye. Buckeye is my NFL, and when that season's done, my season's done for football. But I will be tuning in to watch the Super Bowl halftime show, and I'm looking forward to seeing Drake drop Not Like Us. And I want him to play that. I want him to do that song 7 times in a row.
Drake drop Not Like Us.
Hey, Drake. I fucking hate that guy.
No, it's funny because you
There's no
said
one on this
Drake dropped
planet.
Not Like Us as
It's
Kendrick,
Drake
man.
and Trump. They the same to me.
Oh,
They the same. They both pieces of shit.
Okay. All right. You got anything else?
Nope. Fuck Drake.
All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody that came through. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody over on Kick, Strange. Thank you for coming through, keeping it lively with your comments. Shout out to anybody that's watching over on Twitch. Unfortunately, our Facebook was not up today, so we got to figure out what's going on with that. And shout out to everybody that's over there on YouTube. Please go over to YouTube, give us a subscribe over there, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment. It helps with the algorithm. We're trying to rebuild this. And I think that's pretty much it. I got what you got.
Yep. He said it all. Catch you guys on the next one. Heard?
Cut.